September of 2009, the foundation was joined by 30 people on the Goddard Trail in Camp Hill to kick off what we call the Goddard Legacy Project. The aim of the project is to reconnect Pennsylvanians to an outstanding leader who worked tirelessly on behalf of future generations. This multifaceted project included the application for a historical marker honoring Doc Goddard's work, and is for that reason that we are gathered here today. Henry Kissinger once said, "The task of the leader is to get his people from where they are to where they have not been." Kissinger recognized that it is no great feat to get people to do something that they've done before. Real leadership is getting them to do something they aren't even sure is possible. I believe that this is one of many quotes on leadership that apply to Doc Goddard's work. One test of a leader's reach is to count the lives that he or she influenced. I'd like to take an informal survey here and ask the question, how many people in the audience were directly influenced by Goddard via personal connection, employment, or volunteer positions? If you could raise your hand. Excellent. How many people in the audience were touched by his work? I venture to say that every Pennsylvanian and even people beyond our borders were touched by the work of Maurice Goddard. In a few minutes, we're going to have several presentations about Maurice Goddard, and then we'll have the unveiling of the historic marker.
Goddard, 1912 to 1995. Served 5 governors from 1955 to 1979 in an extraordinary career as Secretary of the former Departments of Environmental Resources and Forest and Waters. Goddard significantly expanded the state park system, established state forest, natural resource and wild areas, and professionalized forestry and environmental management in state government. A leader in air and water resource management, he inspired environmental awareness nationwide. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, all the presenters, and thank you. You guys did a wonderful job, done a wonderful job. The Maurice Goddard Legacy Project celebrates the accomplishments of Doc Goddard and rededicates all Pennsylvanians to his vision and values, conservation of our natural resources. Project partners include the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, WITF, the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission, Pennsylvania Association of Environmental Professionals, and the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. Funding for the project was made possible by the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, the Heinz Endowment, the Richard King Mellon Foundation, the McKenna Foundation, the Foundation for Enhancing Pennsylvania Watersheds, and private contributions. And some of those donors are here with us today, and I'd like to say a general thank you to all of them, because it's really the private donations that have made the historic marker possible. So a round of applause for them. We'd also like to thank Unveiling for her efforts to get this in place, and the Department of General Services and Kevin Bell for their work in making sure that the marker was put into place and ready for us today. Members of the Goddard Legacy Project who are here today are Wade Grover, you can wave, Bill Corey, Benila Tierney, Helen Zeff, and Dr. Ken Walensky, and myself. I'd also like to give you 2 dates. On October 21st, a symposium on the lesson of Goddard as they apply to issues facing us today will air on WITF. This is followed by the airing of a full-length documentary about Maurice K. Goddard that will air on November 10th at 8 p.m. on WITF. So please mark your calendars and be a part of that as well. I want to thank you for joining us in celebration today. If this has piqued your interest and you want to learn more about Maurice Goddard, the Pennsylvania Forestry Association recently republished a book that was completely sold out, and they do have it available here today in room 105, where we'll convene to afterwards for refreshments. But I would like to close with a quote from Maurice Goddard himself. The decision decisions that we make today do not affect only ourselves. If they did, it would not be so hard to make them, as we would be willing to accept the consequences of our own actions. But the decisions also affect our children and their children and their children in ever-increasing numbers, and we must consider them when we act.